What if Elon Musk invented a combat weapon to defeat Russia? In order to get a better idea of what Elon Musk could create using his technology and experience to assist Ukraine, we have to understand what he has already built and the kind of impact that his technology has on the world right now. His companies are proof of the kind of futuristic innovation the billionaire can produce, and the destructive nature that comes with when creating new markets or disturbing ones that already exist. From Tesla, which has produced futuristic electric cars, to SpaceX, which has produced rockets that are reusable, Musk has set himself out to become the future in the present world with his controversial but effective thought process. The latest in his success stories is the contract that SpaceX has won from the US Air Force. The contract is recorded to be worth over $102 million, proving it to be a serious project that also enables SpaceX to create a product that could potentially be a staggering weapon against Russia in the current battle between Russia and Ukraine. If you would like to know more about this project, then stay tuned and watch the video till the end. But before we start, please click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click on the bell button to get notified every time we release a new video like this. The contract between SpaceX and the US Air Force is based on Musk's SpaceX supplying the Air Force with military cargo, but it won't be necessarily the type of cargo you might imagine. Musk, through his SpaceX company, is known for space exploration and building rockets that can travel to Mars, which is the CEO dream to reach the planet. However, it now seems like the government is willing to work with him on his endeavors and collaborate with him in a unique way. The Air Force will use SpaceX's rockets to move military equipment across the world, but using rockets to travel through space. This will make the movements much faster and more reliable. As you might have known, the US government was not so keen on embracing and praising Elon Musk and his companies for the excellent work that they have been showing to the government through innovation and job creation. More particularly with Joe Biden, who has also managed to keep the word Tesla or Elon Musk out of his mouth. Musk has done his best to make his voice known and air out his frustration with the government always skipping him when it comes to electric cars. However, with SpaceX, it's clear that not even the government can keep itself from embracing the innovation and problem-solving products that the company is producing. Of course, they wouldn't necessarily admit this. This is why the government has gone out of its way to explain that the contract is not only based on and solely for Elon Musk. They suggested that there were many other contracts with different companies and that companies had to apply. It might be a way of minimizing the perceived importance of Elon Musk to the government, even though it now becoming clear that the US government needs Elon Musk. The government has now spent $102 million on this project, and this could be only the beginning, as projects like this could take up more work effort, time, and resources to pull it off in a successful way. The government also made it clear that SpaceX would need to prove itself before it becomes a long-term work relationship. What makes SpaceX's rocket creation something to marvel over is that for many years, NASA and other motor-heavy projects have relied on Russia for engine creation. Russia has been at the forefront of rocket creation, so much so that it became the only company the US could rely on for such products. This is what has helped Russia stand its ground against US threats, since they held something so dear to the tech world in North America. Elon Musk's success proved to help relieve the United States from its dependence on Russian engines by being able to create its own rockets and engines, all manufactured in the United States. This not only helped the United States get all such equipment locally, but it also created jobs, since this introduced an industrial type of setting for the production of all these products. This is why it was a cause for concern when US President Joe Biden showed no appreciation for such efforts, all because Elon Musk refused to unionize his workers. But despite the jab from the government, Musk continued with his innovations, and the government can no longer ignore Musk and his company. Not only has Elon Musk been able to create rockets and engineer their own engines, but they have managed to make them reusable. This is something that Russia has failed on over the year. Due to the heavy load and power used in rocket launches, most rockets get damaged to a point of not being used when they land. Elon Musk has used technology that allows these rockets to move like cars, making each trip become what it actually is, a trip. The rockets themselves don't get damaged and would need only minor touches to get them ready for their next trip. This has become very important for the US government, and it's a breakthrough for the military transportation sector. making these rockets one of the most valued products in the US and at times for the world. It seems both the government and SpaceX have been talking for some time, and the deal was sealed in January this year. A lot of effort for tests and production has been made since then, and if we are to go by the importance of the deal, it's safe to say that the production of such rockets is something that is at an advanced stage. Although the contract does not specify which rockets will be used for this project, the company might use already existing rocket designs to modify one that would specifically focus on the Air Force project. This is because it will be a different project from the Mars Initiative and the Starlink project. However, what we do know is that the rockets will be able to travel anywhere in the world, aiding the United States military at a moment's time. There will be space stations and ground stations for the rockets to land. What makes this a great thing is that the amount of equipment that could be carried and transported at one go could be a world record, and it would make the US military much more effective, powerful, and fast. It will also assist in humanitarian aid. Once the project starts, the US government will also be in a position to collect data from the movements of the rockets, allowing the government to record speed, time, weather, and anything else that could affect the transportation of the military equipment. This means that it will be easier to determine where the landing stations should be, which routes to avoid in the future, and how the military stations should be positioned so that the process of sending and receiving the equipment is as effective as possible. This is because most of the places where disasters happen don't have suitable land for rocket stations, and it would prove to be difficult to land a rocket in a space that is not well grounded and strong. Hence the importance of tests. This point-to-point transportation system could be something that could be of use in Ukraine. Russia is also good with rockets and space equipment. However, their technology is not as nearly sophisticated as Elon Musk's. And if they were to transport military equipment using their rockets, there is no way in which they would be able to use their rockets after they have landed in a particular area. However, this would not be a problem for Elon Musk's rockets, since they would travel like airplanes landing from one place to another. Also, being spacebound, it would be nearly impossible for Russia to attach these rockets, and they would help further aid Ukraine with weapons and other resources to help them continue defending their country. What Musk would need to pull this off is the backing of the United States government. And since the purpose of this program is for the US government to be able to send aid anywhere on Earth, Ukraine might be a country that needs this kind of aid at the moment. If things go our way, Ukraine might also be used as a testing ground for this operation. Not only will Ukraine be a place to test the effectiveness of this operation, but it might be easier for the United States to gain data using a real-life event, and this will also benefit Ukraine, since they will receive this help free of charge, and it might help aid them with more equipment. This would be really effective due to other countries in Europe are willing to aid Ukraine with more weapons and equipment. This means that Musk's rockets could fly around Europe collecting all the equipment needed and ship them to Ukraine, leaving Russia in desperate need of more resources due to the amount of time that their invasion of Ukraine is taking. With that said, we have come to the end of today's video. What are your thoughts on Elon Musk's rockets and SpaceX's contract with the US Air Force? Let us know in the comments section below. Remember to like and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this.